Greetings dear friends, Dragon here once again with a very exciting unboxing today and a very echoey room. Apologies for that, we're still in the process of getting settled into the new place. Hopefully you can still hear this okay, but this just in today from Arrow and it is the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest box set. Pretty goddamn exciting. Arrived with not a huge amount of packaging and did have a couple of these air bags which I've still got a little bit there in them. One of them does anyway. The other one is gone and it's had a little bit of a dent to the corner, I think. So we shall see as we get inside if there's any damage, hopefully not. But I think these have started shipping out a little bit early. The release date isn't actually until next Monday, the 17th. At the time I'm recording this, this is Friday the 14th of July 2023. And certainly it's a set that a huge amount of people are very excited and foaming at the mouth to get their hands on. I was actually very lucky to get advanced previews, so I have actually started working through some of the special features. As we're unboxing, I'll tell you a little bit about what I've discovered so far. All of it is good, and I would also encourage you to go and check out my interviews with the wonderful Brandon Bentley, who is heavily involved in the behind-the-scenes production of the set and recorded commentaries. Also recently did a chat with Big Mike Leader, who does a commentary with Brandon on Game of Death, and with Frank Jeng, who did a commentary for Game of Death 2, aka Tower Death, alongside Michael Worth. So check out all of those interviews if you've not already. But enough rambling from me. Let us jump into what you're all here for, which is the unboxing. I don't even think I'm going to need a knife, because it looks like the plastic coating has already had a little bit of a wee bit missing, so it should be easy enough just to get the rest of this off. I went for the red box, which is the Tony Stella artwork, and it's looking like it's actually had a dent to a couple of different corners. I don't know if you can see that. There's a wee dent to the side there, so, but that is okay. Totally fine with things not being completely and totally perfect. You can see better there, it's just had a wee bit of a dent to that corner and a little bit of a dent to that corner, but it's alright, not to worry. So we get our removable kind of box J card with all the special features on the back, of which there is hours and hours and hours. There's absolutely jam-packed. I think this is shaping up to be Arrow's kind of best produced box set so far. I'm a huge fan of the Shaw Brothers sets, but they've just gone the extra mile on this. There's so much incredible content made for it. I should show you the back without the J card before we get too much into the set. So we get Tony's art in the front and the back, kind of alternate image, which is pretty damn cool. And inside, we're getting all of Tony's individual beautiful artwork for each one of these digis. So we have a big boss, and inside here I get a little promo card for Mataro. So that is our 4K disc for the big boss. Nice touch that they've got the original Hong Kong posters there. And we get the big boss, the Mandarin cut, with an alternate poster for the big boss there. Back of these are always just going to be the information about what's on that particular disc. And we move to Fist of Fury, which we had the chance to see on the big screen pretty recently. They were screening the 4K, the new restoration through in Glasgow, so we kind of went through to see that. It looks absolutely incredible, so I'm expecting to look very much the same on 4K disc, but yeah, absolutely glorious, and sounded incredible too. The sound quality really pretty exceptional. Way of the Dragon, inside Fist of Fury. Way of the Dragon with a chunk on the front too, and again we get our original Hong Kong poster. Very nice indeed. So far I should say all of these have been UHDs, so it's 4K for the big boss, and 4K for the Mandarin cut, 4K for Fist of Fury, and 4K for Way of the Dragon. Then we get into the first of the standard regular Blu-rays on here, because the Enter the Dragon is not in 4K, as I've covered at length. So again we get the Hong Kong poster here, and we get a repeat of all the extras that are on the previous anniversary special, which largely are identical to the ones that are on Warner's new 4K. The only difference is you're getting the theatrical cut, which if you have the Criterion box set you've already got. And then we get to Game of Death. Again, beautiful Tony Stella artwork on the front. One of the, looks like possibly the Japanese poster there. Ultimate shot inside here. Very cool indeed. There's quite a few discs relating to Game of Death. So we get the alternate versions, and this is on regular Blu-ray, so not on 4K. The main feature for Game of Death is on 4K, but when we switch back to region B locked Blu-rays, you can see on the front it's region B locked. So if you're in the States, you're going to need a multi-region machine, even if you're getting the 4K version. And then we have the final Game of Death, which I have had a chance to watch through. It's 3.5 hours of absolute joy. This is all 11 reels of footage that Bruce Lee shot for Game of Death, so you see literally every single take. So if you've seen the kind of previous cut togethers or 40 or 45 minute kind of assembly cuts of the footage, including, I think the Redux version is going to be largely the same thing too. This is not that. This is absolutely every stitch of footage that he has shot, including some outside footage with Wan and Shik, the spectacular villain who you'll know from The Young Master, who is going to be one of the fighters at one of the lower level pagodas, but they never got around to filming that footage. But you'll certainly see some of the kind of the test footage for that, of him kind of fighting outdoors. Blink and you'll miss it. Little shots of kind of Bruce Lee directing that footage, but certainly for all the pagoda sequence stuff that you might previously be familiar with, you'll see a lot of different takes, and you'll also see several sequences, including the big log fight that never really made it to any of the kind of assembly cuts so far. It's an absolute joy. Narrated by James Flower, who is the key Arrow producer across this whole box set, and assembled by Brandon Bentley. Looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's 223-minute long video essay, and then you also get a new kind of separate reconstruction which puts back in the log fight. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And then we get Game of Death 2, aka Tower of Death, which is also on regular Blu-ray. That's on region B locked, but still looks spectacular. It's a new 2K restoration. Looks very, very cool. And then a couple of the documentaries also restored. So we get Bruce Lee, The Man and the Legend documentary. Both of these are very cool. And we get the original posters for those two. Then we get the hefty, hefty book in Game of Death colours. I've just kind of got a variety of different articles in here. Now this didn't come through the review copy, so I've never ever seen the book at all, but we're getting film and cast and crew notes for all the movies, and we get the early films of Bruce Lee by Andrew Stanton. We get Fields of Fury, The Rise of Golden Harvest by Dylan Chung. We're getting Dreams of a Little Dragon by Henry Blythe. Into the Censor, Bruce Lee versus the BBFC by David West. And Bruce Lee Golden Harvest, A Viewing Guide by James Flower. So we'll take a little look at James's piece first. So we flick to 175 of this 200-page book. And he's basically talking through which order I suspect, or which versions to go with, and how the different versions compare to each other, and explaining the restoration process. Really looks pretty goddamn cool. It's nice to actually have one of the producers explaining basically how they kind of got on with assembling all the different versions of the footage together, the different audio tracks and so forth, where the different restorations came from. Very cool indeed. And then a separate note about the restorations. Our cast and crew thanks, and a huge special thanks to everybody who's been involved. Jump back to the beginning of the book, and I won't spend too much time on this because I don't want to kind of spoil everything for those of you who are going to be getting this through absolutely any day. But there is a huge amount to go through, even just through the cast and crew notes. You're getting loads of behind the scenes shots, further viewing recommendations. I should get notes for each film by Walter Chow as well. Even for Into the Dragon. Excellent. And for the documentaries. And then you're into your main articles. We're getting a filmography for Bruce, along with various other TV appearances. Covering Longstreet, Green Hornet, and The Rise of Golden Harvest. Dreams of a Little Dragon. I'm wondering if that's going to be unrealised projects. And then I'm glad that somebody spoke about the BBFC, of how much all of us in the UK missed out on seeing basically any of the Nunchaka sequences. There's the infamous saw and head scene, and there is also a video essay on the Big Boss disc that looks into that as well. And the saw sequence is not on here, but I wasn't expecting it to be. We also then get a poster, and this is for Wheel of the Dragon, landscape poster. You can see that. Upside, we get a landscape poster for the big boss. Really nice printed, good quality paper stock. And then we're getting a little envelope. Bruce Lee is Dynamite. And inside here, I think, is all of our reproduction lobby cards. So yeah, for the big boss. Again, really beautifully printed. On the back of these, you get the poster for the big boss. Double-sided. Very cool. Because to buy original lobby cards for Bruce's movies is always incredibly expensive. Again, we're getting those, that classic series of posters on the back. Cards for Fist of Fury. For Way of the Dragon. Way of the Dragon poster on the back. For Game of Death. No surprises. Game of Death poster on the back. Fantastic. Very cool. I think some of the nicest repro cards I've ever seen, and in a much more manageable size. Often lobby cards were really big and quite unwieldy, tricky to store. And then we're also getting a series of photos. Again, printed on actual photo paper. These feel really nice. Single-sided. Very cool indeed. And all the printed extras are the same no matter which box set you go for. So if you go for the regular Blu-ray or you went for the yellow set, all the stuff inside is going to be identical, though the individual art on the digipacks is different if you went for the yellow box version, but all the on-disc extras are all the same. And that is your set. And obviously we'll dive fairly deeply into this. There's a lot to get through. So as I've had a chance to check through more, I will do some actual proper videos, quite possibly maybe a video per film for anyone who is interested. Let me know in the comments below how you'd like that done. If you kind of want a review of the overall set, then let me know. If you prefer to have individual videos for each one of the movies or even each one of the discs, let me know. Let me know which one you went for, if you went for the red or the yellow, or if you've not bothered, because I did certainly see a few people saying meh, which I'm astounded at. I think this is easily a contender for box set of the year, not just Arrow box set of the year, and that's even if we see Arrow Shaw Scope Volume 3 coming out this year. As much as a Shaw Brothers fan I am, I don't know what they're going to do anytime soon to top the huge amount of work that's gone into this set. Really, all of the on-disc and the printed extras, just absolutely first class. So even with its couple of little dinks, which is a shame, unfortunately, the packaging out of the controls, or the packaging of how these things are sent out of the control of the people who've worked on them. So don't be too harsh on Arrow for if your set has arrived like me without a little bit more bubble wrap to protect it, because it is a weighty set, so it's very hard to kind of try and send these sorts of things out without really it getting a little bit shaken around in transit, and I'm not really too fazed by the fact that my two corners are a little bit dented. That is it. I've been the Fanatical Dragon. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you on the next one. Take care.